Welcome back to D-Light Motorsports. Today we are going to be trying to make this ArcDroid and this thermodynamics plasma cutter communicate. This is a Cutmaster 42, and what we're going to do is we're going to tie into the circuit of this bad boy. So let's dive right into it. Before taking that torch head apart, make sure that this is not plugged in, because you don't want to end up dead or fried or shocked or bzzz. All right, let's get started. Let's pop this thing apart and see what we got inside. So this particular torch is an SL40 off of a thermodynamics unit. And we're just gonna take this bad boy apart. I did do some research, and we're looking for the yellow and green wire on a switch. Let's see if we don't destroy this thing. So it's starting to come apart, but there. So what we're looking for, is yellow and green wire, which is yellow, it's right here, and the green one is right here. So you'll see a series. Of, there's this little switch down here, and there's another switch up here. This makes sure that the cap is actually on. So it completes that circuit, goes back to this switch, which is your hand trigger. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to tie into these right here. I'm just going to make a jumper here and then run a cord out. So I'm going to take this and lift this up. I'm going to try to drill a hole through the handle over here. To run my wires through. Just a little hole right there. And then I'll massage it to make it the size that I need to get both of these wires through there, and with some heat shrink. Go figure, the battery's dead. I'm gonna put a bit of heat shrink on this. Just, you're going to use clear. I'm going to put it back far enough. I'm going to leave extra, that's going to go in there, and then it's going to go like this. Kind of like that. So let's shrink that. Now I'm just going to shrink them. Now, do that and kind of stick it in there. It'll get formed while it's hot. I want it formed like that. Now all we're going to do is we're going to interrupt these wires. I'm going to actually just take this little connector out and this little connector out and put one of these little butt connectors and then shrink it. The reason I did this hole in here is because I tried to slide the wires through this, and then I figured, well, first off, they wouldn't go through that, and then this metal would rub a hole in the insulation, so I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to use this little zip tie just to hold this in place for now while I'm working on this. So I'm just going to snip these wires here. Strip it. Man, that insulation is really rubbery. Kind of go along where this thing used to sit. I'm going to snip it here. Strip this one. Tie these two together. Then I just got these little connectors off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description of where I get it. But these little tiny ones. Alright, we got it to go on. Now you just crimp it. Squeeze it a little. It ain't coming off. And then this wire, this little green one here, it's little. Let's see these. Man, that's just a baby wire. That's why I wanted to use these small ones here. So don't forget to put your heat shrink on. Go ahead and crimp that, then you can slide your heat shrink over it. I'm gonna go ahead and heat shrink it now. Whoop, before you use this thing, move this pile out of the way because you will shrink every single thing in that box. Let that cool. And we're gonna put this one and this one together. I don't know if these will do it. This little wire is really small, but I found if you stick it in there, it still moves. You wiggle it back and forth, it'll kind of cut it. Oops, this other switch fell out. And we got that one. So I want to bend this. Kind of the same length that this one's going to be. And it looks like I just made enough. It's really hard to see. These things are so small. And don't squeeze them too hard because you could break the wire off in there. Get another piece of heat shrink. I'm gonna push it down as far as I can. Now the other green wire. This was the one that was really the rubbery. Got it. Now let's heat shrink that one. Got that little booger down there. Let that cool off and let's put it back together. Alright, now that we got that in there, I'm gonna put this little switch back on its prongs. Kind of fish this like that and hope everything fits when I put the cover back on. Okay, that still works. Push that down there, push that down there. Now I know that I'm gonna have to trim this a little bit. You just hope. Man, this is a pain in the ass. That slid out of place. There's a lot going on in this little handle. Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully nothing moves. Try to hold it steady. Even though I'm shaky because this is nerve-wracking. There it goes. Is it going? Did it go? It just went? Look at that. It fit. No way. We're back together. I'm going to throw a little tape around there. This is protected. So let's put this bad boy back on. Alright, you guys just got the meat and potatoes of it, even though it took forever. So this wires that are coming out of here, it bypasses the switch for here and here. So if you touch these two wires together now, this thing's gonna fire. That's what we want, but be careful. Let's see if it does. Let's see. But before that, I'm gonna put some of this fiber tape. I use it for wiring race cars. Right around here. I also get that off Amazon. It's really nice. I use it at work too. When I get cuts, I throw a napkin or a blue towel, and then I wrap it with this. It works way better than Band-Aids. So if we touch these two together, the magic should happen. Let's try it. Just powered her up. Going through its cycle. Now, if we touch these two together, that thing should start blowing air out. And let's see, that's the first step. There we go. Stop it before it voltage. I think we successfully just did this. Let's turn the power off and then let's hook her up and see if she cuts. So what I'm going to do now with the two leads that I had off my torch, I'm going to go ahead and stick them in the torch spot down here. I put some spade connectors on here. And we're going to put those in. So if you're doing this, don't do what I'm doing with these wires. Well, you can if you want, but don't leave it like that. I'm going to still adjust everything and make the wires with the torch nice. But they're just, watch, you'll see. They're just like laying across the table because I'm just setting this up. Look. They're just like this. And my plasma is just chilling over here. So, let's give her a rip. Alright, I'm kind of excited. So, I just turned the power on to that. And I have no idea what's going to happen. So, let's go ahead. We got we got our little tiny circle down here. It's 1.5 inches. And I'm going to hit run after I hit that. And let's see what happens. Run. Let's see if it works. Obviously there's a delay. So let's see if we can fix that. With the help from the ArcDroid guys, I got that little delay situation fixed on the, it was just a setting inside here, and it was because of the plasma torch that I have, the plasma cutter that I have. Awesome customer service, I can say that. They got back to me in 1 day, and that was it. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how I made this table, and I just got the parts to finish making the hanger deal there. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.